Hello and welcome to the Nexus. Today we're going to be looking at Voyager A from Fanhome. Okay, so Voyager A is here from Star Trek Prodigy, and yeah, I've been really looking forward to this. This is one of the XL models, so it's in the bigger boxes. As you can see, it's got a nice profile picture there and a top view. We're also as well going to sort of go through the design elements of this. It's got a few different ships in this design, and we'll also see how it scales up with the other XLs of the collection. So let's get opening and get a look. Okay, so here's the box. It's one of their larger boxes as well. There's a nice picture of it on profile there. And while it's on that profile there, I've got the Enterprise E XL model here. And you can see straight off that there is a sort of an argument for that. I don't know how well that's coming up on the screen, but yeah, we'll have a look at it all anyway. We'll go through the magazine first, as we always do. So let's turn it around. And there's the magazine. Now, something did surprise me as well with this. I didn't realise. I've been going through like the numbers and stuff. I've not really realised. But we're on 12. We've been doing this a whole year. A whole year. It doesn't feel like it, but we have been doing this a whole year. This roughly came out this time last year. So this is obviously USS Voyager A from Star Trek Prodigy. If you haven't seen it, watch it. But the only way to see it now is through DVD. It's not available on any streaming site. It's got completely taken down. So it is Lamar class. Admiral Janeway is obviously the captain, and it only has 29 decks as well, which is obviously a bit larger than Voyager there. And then we come on to here. So a lot of this is obviously in university information. It goes on that this was 6 years after Voyager returned from the Delta Quadrant, and Voyager A is, I think it's sort of like a prototype. Though in doing so, it should have the NX profile pretext there, but it doesn't. It's the sort of new Voyager. And yeah, definitely, I think if a Starship, it should be sort of an upgrade, but a linear within that, if you know what I mean. Not like with the Enterprise ships where they've sort of changed the design. They've sort of stuck over. Similar, if you know what I'm saying. And this one is very similar to Voyager. And then we get some nice, so we get a top view, and lots of people were saying that there's not many windows on this. Well, all these little white bits are all windows, and we'll come on to all of that as well in regards to windows and stuff like that. Profiles, another nice profile there. Now the engines, though it has a sort of Sovereign class profile here, you can definitely tell this is a sort of a Voyager sort of saucer section. But the engines in the back bit remind me of something else. I'll come on to that. Then we come on to how they designed it. So it's got a lot more texture on the whole of this one. It's not got that Aztec design. It's got like a panel design. You can sort of see there how big Voyager is compared to Voyager A. But once again, it's a nice fit there. You can sort of see what they've copied certain elements, like the sensor secondary deflector dish at the front there, and the sensor pod section along the front. They've tried to incorporate that, and they've incorporated stuff from the Sovereign class as well. This is going on. Oh, no, that is right. Yeah. Once again, it's going on to like the paneling. Now, for me, that paneling, it obviously explains it a little bit in here. I haven't read it though, but I think that paneling is more of a sort of an armor. Do you remember when Voyager returned? It had that sort of armored plate all over it. So I think that's what's covering this. Also, as members, this ship has slipstream as well, so the paneling might have something to do with that. And then we get onto some more here, and you can also see here it's sort of red. Reminds me of a Mirror Universe ship. And then you've got the profile here, which is perfectly illustrated here from the Sovereign until the Lamar class. So it's slightly smaller, but you can definitely see the profile almost matches, which is nice. And that is the magazine. So let's have a look. Okay, so here we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's a little bit of polystyrene there. Move that over. And take out the stand. And the ship itself. There we go. Okay, so first thing that strikes me picking it up is it's really light. And I was expecting it to be longer. I don't really know why. So we're going to just put it on its stand here, and we'll have a very close look at this. But first impressions is, oh wow. I mean, the paneling on this, the colour as well, it is absolutely stunning. All of this. You can see the design elements here, the secondary deflector dish from Voyager. Now this is very Sovereign class, and we'll come on to that as well. Impulse engines are enclosed, but they are in here. And obviously it's got the D-shaped deflector dish there, which is exactly like Voyager's. It sort of tapers off here, it sort of like cuts off there. And the engines, now I'm going to come on to the warp nacelles here, but they remind me of a different ship other than the Sovereign. We'll come on to that. Let's have a look at some closer shots of this, because there's some detail here. The registry is small, but I think that's purposely done to illustrate the size. So I'm going to zoom up now. Okay, there we go. So we're going to take it off the stand, and we'll have a closer look at this so you can get some really good detailing on this. So you've got the bridge here, which obviously runs right across the back there, very similar to the Sovereign, and we'll I'll keep mentioning it, but we'll sort of go into that. The paneling as well, like I said, it's not as techy, but it's got loads of these panel lines all the way along here. We've got the secondary deflector at the front, just there. You can sort of see the registry, which is nice. The problem is, I think it blends too much in. It's small, but it blends in. But you can make it out on camera, but with the naked eye, you can make it out as well. But yeah, I was expecting it to be bigger, but actually it is that small on the ship itself. Now, die-cast sections, just the top bit of the saucer section here, I believe, is die-cast. And then underneath here and everything else is plastic. Once again, I always do this because a lot of people ask, you know, how much die-cast is in it and how heavy it is. And it's not too heavy. Once again, that sort of panels lines continue, and we get the we get a little ship, or the captain's scout, or the yacht, or something under there, the Astro Shuttle under there, very reminiscent to the Sovereign. But once again, we've got the Intrepid class D-shaped deflector dish, even with the sort of broke up of it, which is very reminiscent of the Voyager 1. It sort of protrudes as well. Coming back to the engine, so we've got this cutout section here, and we've got these little sections just here that are just poking out, which are nice. But the bottom of these are really nicely detailed as well, and we'll turn it around. So we've got the light blue plastic there and the red blue plastic to represent where the engines go. In terms of where registry and stuff like that is, it's literally only on the front here. Normally we would have like emblems on this, even running across here as well. It does lack windows, but all these little white parts here, they're all windows. And it doesn't have many, which means it sort of shows me that this is probably done for two reasons. One, this could be some sort of armor plating it has over it, which would indicate why it's sort of patented like that. And also because of the slipstream drive that it has, I would imagine that it would have to be more slendic, if you know what I mean. So more sort of, I would say smooth, but there's loads of lines on it already. Maybe that's something, I don't know. Let us know in the comments what you think. But yeah, there is the ship. I'm absolutely loving this. This is really good. The detail on this is really nice as well. And we'll sort of get the Sovereign over. So let me pan up a little bit, and we'll see how that profiles with that. So let's move Voyager there. And so this is the XL Enterprise E from Eagle Moss. And as you can see, it has that sort of slender profile on both here. So it's got this elongated saucer section on here, but also very elongated on here. Voyager's was more of a delta shape. This is more of a sort of saucer shape, but it has that sort of point at the end, which is nice. I can see where a lot of people get this part from the Sovereign, but I'm going to throw a spanner in the works, because I think that the back of this, so there are elements, you can see this here, this element here has been incorporated in. You can see that section there, and you can see how the bridge comes up as well. Once again, you've got the bridge section here, very, very similar. It's also got this very similar section on the back, so I can understand why people are saying this is like the predecessor to the Sovereign class, which it might be. It's definitely an argument for that. The impulse engines are here, but they're obviously under these sort of grill sections. But I think that's where a lot of the Sovereign stops. And I'm going to bring in another one. Now, I never got this as an XL, but I plan to if they ever release it. And that is the Equinox. So this is the Equinox. Now, once again, this had a lot of design elements to Voyager, though I don't know if anyone knows the backstory to this. So this was originally going to be the Defiant. Yep. So the Defiant we got was actually going to be like this. Anyway, the engines, they actually remind me of them. They're shorter, so they're not as long as the Sovereign class, as you can see. So these are sort of stubby. They sort of taper off the back as well. The sort of wings are slightly more downwards, so it has a more of a sort of a straighter profile than the Sovereign. And the back as well has got this sort of flat bottom as well, which it sort of doesn't stop there. It sort of. So a lot of the back section for me actually reminds me a lot of the Equinox, or the Nova class starship, I should say. But yeah, you know, I mean, you look at the profile there of the Nova. That's, by the way, that is a standard size. So, and obviously the Equinox is a much more smaller ship in terms, but you can sort of see the size. We're also what I'm gonna do is put, we can see the profile there, but what we haven't got is another XL, or we have, I should say. So here we go. We've got the Enterprise F just there. I do have Voyager as well, but it's got so many elements to Voyager in it that I don't really need to show it. But if I pan up a little bit, you can sort of make out the three of them there. And they all perfectly fit in that XL size. And yeah, you can sort of see now the design element going across. It does make sense that they've made the Lamar class a sort of a Sovereign superior, just because of the way it looks, I suppose. But look, I'm absolutely loving this. This is brilliant. We're going to put the Enterprise F at the side as well. And you let me know what you think on the Voyager A. This is definitely pride of place on my collection. I might even have to stick it on the desk here because it's really, really nice. Yeah, I absolutely love this. Let me know in the comments what you think. And as always, we're here at the Nexus are going to be reviewing all the Star Trek ships. So make sure you click like, subscribe and comment. And as always, we'll see you at the next video. But until then, guys, thanks for watching and we'll see you there.
Tune into the channel, Nexus is the name. All the hottest content, you'll never be the same. Laughs and thrills, excitement,